This is 6 weeks of a real project, and these diamonds you're seeing are milestones. They serve as visual markers for the major checkpoints, so you can see exactly how far along this project is at a glance. They may look simple, but they can completely change how you manage complex projects. The more phases, deadlines, or approvals your project has, the more valuable milestones become. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to build what you just saw using ClickUp Milestones. You'll learn how to create milestones, filter your project to display only those key checkpoints, and monitor progress from a single dashboard. Let's get started. Chapter 1. Set up your first milestone. If you don't have a ClickUp account yet, click the link in the description to claim your free trial and follow along as we build this. It only takes a minute to get started, and it's totally free forever. Now, let's set up the project we'll be using throughout this video. In ClickUp, your work is organized into a simple hierarchy: spaces, then folders, lists, and finally, tasks. I've already created mine, but let me quickly show you how to create each one from scratch. To create a space, hover over spaces in the sidebar and click the plus icon. Mine is already set up as client projects. Inside a space, you can create a folder the same way. Hover over the space and click the plus icon. I've created one called Client Site Relaunch, which is the project we'll be working with throughout this tutorial. Inside that folder, you'll create lists using the same process. Hover over the folder and click the plus icon. I've already created 6 lists, one for each week of the project, from week 1 through week 6. With the structure in place, I've already gone ahead and populated each week with its actual tasks, so we're not sitting here typing in 44 tasks one at a time. You can do the same or follow along with however many tasks you already have in your own projects. Now, let's open week 1. As you can see, there are several tasks here: the audit, competitor research, stakeholder notes, brand assets, and the sitemap drafts. Every one of those tasks contributes to a single objective: getting the client's approval before moving into the next phase. That's exactly what client discovery call sign-off represents. It marks the completion of a major phase, making it exactly the kind of task you'd want to convert into a milestone. Here's why. A milestone in ClickUp isn't a separate kind of object sitting somewhere else in your workspace. It's a regular task that's been given a different task type. Task type is ClickUp's term for a label that changes how a task displays and behaves, without changing what is actually underneath it. So, a milestone has every field a normal task has: due date, assignee, status, comments, attachments. All of it stays. The only thing that changes is visual. It gets a diamond icon instead of the usual task icon, and a few views, Gantt especially, draw it differently on the timeline. That's also why milestones exist as a concept in the first place. Once you understand a milestone is just a task with a different label, the use case becomes obvious. You use it on the moments in a project where something finishes, a phase wraps up, a client signs off, or a deliverable goes out. Those moments are worth pulling out visually from the dozens of smaller tasks leading up to them. That's what we're about to do with this one. There are 2 ways to convert a task into a milestone, and I'll show you both, so use whichever one's available where you are. The first one is right-click in the task row, which opens this menu. Find task type. That opens a submenu: task, milestone, contact, and a few others. Click milestone, and that's the conversion done. The second way is opening the task itself. At the top, you will see a drop-down that says task. Click it. The same list shows up, and select milestone. It's the same result either way. It's just a matter of whether you're working from the list or already have the task open. Now, let's say that this task has a subtask under it, like sending a summary after the call. I'll add one. I'll click Add Subtask right here inside the task. I'll call it Send Call Summary. Hit Enter, and it shows up right under the main task. Watch what happens when I turn the main task into a milestone. The subtask doesn't change at all. It stays exactly where it was. Converting a task into a milestone only changes the parent task itself. It doesn't affect any of its subtasks. And if you ever convert the wrong task by mistake, it's easy to undo. Just right-click the task or open it, go back to task type, choose task instead of milestone, and it switches back immediately. Now, there's one more thing I want to point out while we're here. If you're working in list or table view, you can add a task type column. Click the plus at the end of your column headers, and it will open a fields panel. I'll click add existing since task type is a built-in field and not something I'm creating from scratch. Scroll down, find task type, and flip the toggle on. Now, instead of scanning the whole list for diamonds, you get a sortable column that tells you exactly which tasks are milestones and which aren't. We'll put that to use later when we're filtering this project down to just the checkpoints. That's one way to spot milestones. Another is to see them on a timeline. Chapter 2. Choose the best view for your milestones. In list view, a milestone is just a task with a small icon next to it. I know, it's easy to miss. On a timeline, that same task becomes a fixed point, and you can finally see it against the rest of the project, what's due before it, what depends on it, and what's still ahead. That timeline is called Gantt view, and it's where milestones really start to make sense. If you haven't used it before, it's a horizontal view where each task gets a bar stretching across however many days it's scheduled for. So you can actually visualize how everything in the project lines up. Let me show you what that looks like starting with week 1. I'll click the plus icon next to the view tabs and select Gantt. Now, you can immediately tell that week 1's big win is getting the client to sign off. That's the purpose of a milestone. It's not a task you complete step by step. It's a key achievement that tells you you've reached an important point in the project. And since it's tied to a specific date, you can adjust that date the same way you would adjust any task on this timeline. If a date needs to shift, say the client pushed the call back a few days, you can click the diamond directly and drag it, and the due date updates on its own. That's how it works within a single week. But Gantt view becomes even more useful when you zoom out and look at the entire project. Right now, we're viewing the Gantt chart for just one weekly list. So we only see the week 1. Since the project is organized into 6 separate weekly lists, we need to move to the folder level to see the full timeline. I'll open the client-side relaunch folder, click the plus sign next to the View tabs, and select Gantt. Now we're looking at the entire project on one continuous timeline. All 6 weeks are visible at once, and the milestone we just created is still here, along with the milestones we'll add later. They stand out as clear checkpoints, making it easy to see the major goals you'll reach throughout the project. But Gantt view isn't the only place you'll see milestones. Let's check how they look in a couple of other views. I'll jump to week 3 since that's where we're converting the next one. Let's convert final design approved into a milestone first. Same process as chapter 1. Right-click or open the task, then change task type to milestone. Now let's check calendar view. As you can see, the milestone appears with the same diamond icon on its due date. So whether you're using list, calendar, or Gantt, milestones are displayed consistently. The only difference is that Gantt shows them as points along a timeline instead of dates on a calendar. Board view is a little different. Let's convert final design approved into a milestone just like we did back in chapter 1. The process is exactly the same. Right-click or open the card, then change the task type to milestone. The task is now a milestone, but look at it next to Design QA and Client Design Review Call. The layout is the same, the icons are the same, and nothing on the card itself tells you it's any different. That's one of the current limitations of board view. It doesn't visually distinguish milestones from regular tasks. So if your team works most of its time working from the board, you cannot identify milestones with a glance the way you can in List, Calendar, or Gantt. To confirm whether a card is a milestone, you will need to open it and check the task type field. Fortunately, there are a couple of simple ways to make milestones easier to spot in board view. One option is to create a dedicated milestones column. Now, I'll drag final design approved into that column. Instead of blending it with the rest of the workflow, it's grouped with the other milestones, making it much easier to find at a glance. But if you would rather keep your existing workflow columns intact, using tags or color coding works just as well. I'll open the tags field and add a tag called Milestones. Now the card is clearly labeled no matter which column it's in. It's a simple way to make milestones stand out even though board views don't highlight them automatically. Chapter 3. Find your milestones instantly. Right now we've only converted 2 milestones, so they're still easy to find. But this folder already contains 44 tasks spread across 6 weeks, and once every milestone is in place, scrolling through the project to find them just isn't practical. Fortunately, ClickUp has a filter built for this, and it works the same whether your project has 44 tasks or 400. To show you, I'll switch to list view at the folder level, so we're looking at every task across all 6 weeks. I'll click Filter in the top right corner. For the filter, I'll choose Task Type. Then I'll set the value to Milestone. And the list narrows down to exactly the 2 we've made. Instead of rebuilding this filter every time I need it, I can just save it. I'll click Save Filters, and since I don't have any saved yet, I'll click Save New Filter. I'll name this one Milestones Only. Now this filter is saved. Anytime I want to see just the milestones, whether I'm here in list view or someone else in this project, I can pull up Saved Filters and just apply it in one click. Chapter 4. Build a realistic milestone map for a client project. With the filter in place, let's finish converting the rest of the milestones so we end up with the full 5 checkpoint roadmap we saw at the very start of this video. A relaunch like this one breaks down into 5 natural checkpoints. Discovery sign-off, which we made in Chapter 1, design approval, which we made in Chapter 2, then 3 more: development complete, content loaded, and launch date. Each one exists because something specific has to be true before the next phase can start. Development can't begin until the client approves the design. Content can't go live until development is finished. And launch can't happen until the content is actually in place. Let's start with development complete, staging live in week 5. This milestone marks the point where the site is fully built on the staging server and ready for review, even though it hasn't gone live yet. The conversion is the same as before. Right-click the task or open it, change the task type to milestone, and you're done. For the first 2 milestones, we kept things simple so we could focus on how the feature works. This time, let's fill in the details that make a milestone truly useful. A milestone without a due date or an owner isn't much of a checkpoint. It's just another task with a diamond icon. First, I'll set the due date to July 29, the start of a week 5. Next, I'll assign it to Helena, our lead developer. Finally, I'll add a short description. Staging environment live and accessible for internal QA before client review. This is one of those details people often skip, but it gives anyone opening the milestone immediate context for what complete actually means. I'll speed through the remaining 2 since the process is exactly the same. Convert the task, set the due date, assign an owner, and add a short description. Content loaded, all pages get a due date of August 4th and goes to whoever owns the content migration. Launch day, site live gets a due date of August 11th and is assigned to the person responsible for the final deployment. And that's the full roadmap. 5 milestones, 5 dates, 5 owners, all brought together with one saved filter. Notice the list updated automatically the moment each task was converted. We didn't have to touch the filter or rebuild anything manually. This is also a great way to update a client. Just apply the milestones only filter, and instead of digging through every task, you can quickly walk them through the project's key checkpoints. What's done, what's next, and who is responsible for each one. Chapter 5. Track milestone progress with a dashboard. Now, a roadmap like the one we just built is only useful if it stays accurate as the project actually moves. If discovery sign-off still says to do 2 weeks after the client has already approved it, the roadmap stops telling the truth, and everyone goes back to asking you for the status updates manually, which defeats the entire point of setting this up. So let's update one milestone status, then build a dashboard that tracks all 5 going forward. Let's say the discovery call has actually happened and the client has signed off. I'll open that task and update the status. I'll click complete and it updates automatically. In Gantt view, you can see this milestone's diamond now renders in a different color than the others, which are still open. The exact color depends on your workspace settings, but ClickUp updates it automatically as soon as the status changes. That handles one milestone. For tracking all 5 at once, without opening each task individually, let's build a dashboard. If Dashboards isn't pinned in your sidebar, you'll find it under More. You will see several pre-built templates here, but for this example, I'd start from scratch. The templates include widgets we don't need, so it's usually quicker to just build a simple dashboard yourself. Of the card types available, the one we want is task lists. Instead of just showing a static number, it displays a live, filtered list of tasks, which is exactly what we want for tracking milestones. Next, choose the data source. I only want milestones from this relaunch project, not every project in the client project space. So I'll select client projects, then narrow it down to the client-side relaunch to folder. Now I'll add a filter, just like we did earlier, and set task type to milestone. Then I'll click Add Card. Before we continue, let's give this dashboard a meaningful name. I'll click Dashboard in the breadcrumb and rename it. I'll call it Nordlight Relaunch Status. The widget is now pulling in every milestone from the projects, grouped by status. 4 are still under To Do, but you might notice that Client Discovery Call sign-off is missing. That's because task list cards hide completed tasks by default. To include them, just turn to Quickly Show Closed Tasks. Now, the completed milestone appears in its own complete section. And this is what makes the dashboard so useful day to day. As each milestone is completed, you simply update the task status and the dashboard stays in sync automatically. Instead of creating separate reports or answering individual status requests, you always have a live view of the project's key checkpoints. To get started with everything we just covered, sign up for ClickUp's free forever plan using the first link in the description. And if you want our team to help you implement ClickUp into your workflow, you can reach out to us. There's also a link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.